How's it going, everybody? So I just wanted to showcase a quick build in Empowered Monoliths that I've been working on for a Paladin. It's kind of similar to the Warpath Axe Throw. However, we get to utilize this new unique with 1.1, which is Palarus's Sacred Light. Basically, what this does is gives you a chance to cast Smite on a melee hit up to 3 times per second. If you cast Smite directly or hard cast it, you will cast it at 2 additional targets as well. But we're not going to go ahead and use it in that way. Once again, this is going to be a melee hit on Smite build. So I was dual wielding these for a while, basically all the way up until a couple levels ago. It was working relatively well, but I decided to switch to an Aurelius for the +2 smite and a bit more damage. As you'll see, we're proccing a lot of smites. We have the node Winds of Justice in Warpath to proc any type of smite when we're near any enemies. We're also having Warpath cost no mana. For Smite, we went into Electrocution. We went into Sacrifice. So it builds a little rough still. We're at about 190 to 200 corruption right now. We're doing okay, but I really just wanted to use something with this new unique. So, let's go ahead and take a look. We'll just hop in to one of these monoliths here, and hopefully it goes well. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to essentially spin for the win. And I'll kind of break down what's going on, or how we got to this build afterwards. This is about 200 corruption. I'm level 88. So as you can see, it's doing pretty good damage. We're not like one-shotting everything, but yeah, it's pretty laid back. We're just kind of able to just spin. Our health is rubber banding a bit. We are maxed on res and whatnot, but really our sustainability is coming from our leech. It's not a ward build or anything crazy like that, where you'll have 2,000-3,000 ward. We're just basically relying on our crits and our smite damage or elemental damage to leech. So I'll just kind of go around, kill some stuff, and see if we can complete this monolith without dying. Fingers crossed. Alright, we've been ambushed here. Kill this guy over here just to get him out of my way. As you can see, our mana is running out a little bit, but this can be handled with a little bit more mana regen. So I'll take a look at my gear real quick. So I have about 12 mana regen, and the reason we're losing mana is because of this node in Warpath. We're spinning for free, and Smite procs don't cost any mana. However, we're still getting mana cost from Winds of Justice. So I have a little bit of mana regen on my belt just to offset some of this. But even with just a little bit more mana regen, you could offset the cost of it quite a bit more. It hasn't been enough to make me, really want to put more emphasis on mana regen. So once again, this is a very big work in progress. I'm still tweaking these things. I have 3 points in Volatile Reversal. We're also using that to kind of help you with mana for when you push Holy Aura. We're using Devotion. I have used Bleeding Heart in the past. I just recently started using Devotion. Bleeding Heart worked well, and I see no reason for you not to use it if you want to use it. This just is giving me a little bit more damage. Obviously, we're using Palarus's and the Aurelius. I'm using a Prism Wraps at this time because I'm not using a Bleeding Heart. This is just good because it gives you crit, gives you elemental damage, reduce elemental damage, and we're getting elemental damage as leech. And obviously with Smite, as a lightning spell. That's where we're getting most of our sustain from. Once again, if you wanted to change from Prism Wrap and go to Bleeding Heart and maybe put something else here, or double up on Prism Wrap and Bleeding Heart, I don't see anything necessarily wrong with that. I'm just going for a little bit more damage for like boss encounters right now. Lightning damage, spell damage, and I'm trying to get critical strike. We have about 34% critical strike. At one point, I was using Peak of the Mountain for my helm. However, you cannot leech health from critical strikes. And because we're trying to crit a lot, I was finding that I didn't have the sustain. This is awesome. I would love if we were able to use this, and maybe you guys can figure out a way to use it. Because with this on, I can get up to almost like 50% crit. However, you just lose all of your leech, so this makes it a bit difficult. Once again, I have some mana regen on my belt, critical strike chance, and the reason I have strength is because on the Palarus, you can see that you get +1 spell damage per 2 strength. So you could go attunement. Attunement directly goes into smite as well. These just happen to have strength on it. Once again, it's a build in progress. I'm using Storm Tides right now. They just kind of dropped while I was doing this build, so I put them on. They seem to be working well. I'm sure if you wanted some more stats or some more movement speed or some more resistances, this could be moved out. For a relic, I just have a tier 6 +3 to smite and some crit. I would love a +4 to smite, but they're very expensive right now, so haven't been able to kind of get my hands on one that I like. I'm capped in all reses right now. Armor isn't anything to write home about. My health isn't anything to write home about. Those are things I'm working on. You can see I have a decent amount of spell crit. I'm still working on that. Defenses, I'm working on endurance and my endurance threshold. I do actually have, I'll see if I can find them. And I can't remember the name of, right here. I do have some Ravenous Voids I'm going to test when I hit 91, just for some more sustainability. Obviously, I'll lose out on some crit and just some, forward damage. However, I think maybe just having these as like a survival is going to be good, but, time will tell. Once again, I was running 2 of these for more smites. However, smite procs don't seem to be an issue. That's why I switched over to Aurelis. Let's see here. I have a little bit of shock. Nothing too crazy. They just did an update, so let me find it. So we're shocking as well. But yeah, this is the build. We'll just go over to the target dummies real quick, just to kind of show some of the damage without any mitigation. And once again, yeah, so every time Warpath hits somebody or hits something, you have a chance to proc smites via your weapon, and then just being near somebody with Warpath, you proc smites with Wind of Justice. I've tried many different things to try to get my sustain up. I've tried, Healing Hands, but unfortunately Healing Hands doesn't work with Warpath. Maybe if you wanted to do like a melee attack speed with Rive, you could use Healing Hands. That might work. But yeah, so I've kind of basically had to rely on Leech for this build. Once again, I'm not a professional, so if you find a better way to do this, that's great. So we'll start off just by hitting some of these. We can use Volatile Reversal to get more damage. And as you can see, yeah, everything looks pretty good. Damage numbers are looking fine. We're shocking everybody. Not the best boss killer. It can kill bosses. Like I said, I got to about 200 corruption, so it can kill bosses. Probably need a little bit more damage coming out before you start pushing it past like 200 corruption or so. But yeah, so here's the build. Once again, this is like a build separate from the Warpath Hammer Throw Smite. Since that one kind of got nerfed in this season, I just wanted to make this ability work. And for right now, it is working. Definitely could use some improvement, but yeah, let me know if you want a build guide, or let me know if you have some suggestions. And rest of your day.